welcome back to Gucci Turban. Sorry we left you without a dope beat to step to. It's me, Nimesh. Of course, as always, Mr. Gucci himself. It's been, what, 2-3 weeks since we went on?
3 weeks.
A 3-week hiatus?
Mm-hmm. 3 weeks.
What a 3 weeks it's been.
3 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Every day is like another, what the, how is this possible? But before we talk about the new father of this country, a.k.a. Elon Musk, we must do some dad jokes. No Gucci Turban episode would be complete if we did not start with Asif staring blankly, wondering why his life is the way it is as I read terrible puns.
People really love this stuff, man. So,
you know, Asif, you came to my wedding, remember? I didn't tell you this. I wanted to get married at the library, but it was all booked up.
I'm surprised you didn't see that coming.
No, you see him coming. You just can't do anything about it. You know what I mean? And then they just happen to you.
Oh, man. That was a good one. It's been a long time. It's been a long week. Oh, man. You hear about this lady that got her hands bitten off?
She got her hands bitten off by a shark.
Yeah, you know, like swimming with sharks is expensive. It cost her an arm and a leg. Oh, this is good, dude. That's fucking stupid. Because that's based in truth. That happened. This lady was trying to take a selfie with a shark. There's like a bull shark swimming somewhere in New Zealand or Australia, and she went to like, and it was swimming for like 20 minutes, so she thought it was like innocent. So she went in and tried to take up a selfie with it. And the shark straight up just bit her hand. And then, like, you know when Sam Jackson got eaten up in Deep Blue Sea or whatever?
Yeah, but he was like eaten from the torso up, right?
Yeah.
Oh, she got she got
her arm, her hand bit off.
Oh.
And then the shark came back and took her other hand off before like the people like beat the shark away.
Oh my god.
This is so dumb. But it's good. It's good. Hold on.
You're saving for later.
That's gonna be like the left hook.
We're only doing 3 because we got to keep it moving.
I'm gonna be over here with one, and then bam, kapow! I was just gonna throw something at me like fuck this. I quit. This is just a straightforward good dad joke. What happens if you forget to pay your exorcism bill? You get repossessed. That's fire, dude. Come on, man.
That's a good joke.
That's a good joke. That's solid writing on this one. You get repossessed. I went to the Knicks game last week, and it got super hot after the game because all the fans left. Come on, bro. That's good. All right, fine. We're done. I went to the bar last night. It took me 10 minutes to walk there, but like an hour to walk back.
Yeah.
The difference was staggering. Yes. Bam. Kapow. That's enough for the dad jokes for today.
You want to hear my joke about the parking ticket?
Okay, yeah.
No? Fine.
What is it? What's the joke about the parking ticket?
I already did. I said it. Said no.
Oh no, fine,
Fine.
fine.
Oh man, we got to really work on your delivery.
No,
too quick.
The internet got it. I see you, internet. I know you got it. Commenters got that one.
No, but
gotta zoom it.
I get it too.
It was too quick.
Yeah,
It was too quick,
yeah.
but it was good internet timing.
Sure.
But
Maybe
also,
not.
I said yes.
Just stretch it out in post.
I said yes.
I ignored you.
Just stretch it out in post. All right, let's do
Stretch
like
it out in
let's
post.
let's do let's do a long pause. Let's do a long pause. Ready? Pause. Okay, put that into the edit.
No, fine.
No, fine. That's what you said.
Was that the LeBron game that you were at?
I went to the LeBron game. Yeah.
How was that? Seeing him fucking
LeBron put up a 30-point triple double,
insane.
which was nuts. And then Bronny came out towards the end after the game was put away.
Scored a bucket. I was there too. It was great.
Oh yeah, you were there with your brother.
Yeah.
That's wild. 40 years old.
That was nuts. That was a crazy game. The crowd was, "We want Bronny." That was pretty cool. Anyone who hates on Bronny it's just a little sad, you know. Asif. Anyone who's like, "Oh, he's a Nepo baby," yeah. So what? Let the good people have a Nepo baby. Everyone else is a Nepo baby. I did a cellar spot on Thursday, and there was a lady in the crowd. Well, I was asking, I'm doing a joke about the baby, and praying for her to be lesbian, and I was like, I need some lesbian references. So I asked the crowd, like, what's like a lesbian thing? You know, because I don't want to research on Pornhub. And and like I was like looking to my right. I was like, are there any lesbians here? And then like as I'm saying that, a woman was walking in and she like was sitting down. She's like, "Yes, I'm a lesbian." I'm like, what the? How did you come?
Well, yes, I am a lesbian.
How did you get here?
You summoned me.
I was like, damn, can I just like will lesbians into existence? And I asked her, you know, obviously jokingly, but like, so how did your father cultivate you into a lesbian? And she was like, "Oh, he's just a good guy." I was like, "Oh, okay. What does he do?" She's like, "Private equity." I was like, "Oh, he's not a good guy."
Yeah.
I was like, "What do you do?" She's like, "Chill." I was like, nice. Now, like, see, if you're gonna be a private equity person, if you become a Nepo baby, don't be a Nepo baby. But if your dad is LeBron James and you have a chance to play in the NBA because your dad is LeBron James, who's not taking advantage of that?
You still got to put in work.
What's so wrong with that?
Because there's so many other guys who.
Take that up. That's God's problem.
That's God's problem.
God did that. God did that. That's the good man or they above that did that.
This is going to age poorly if and when the LeBron scandal comes out 20 years from now. You know what I mean?
What do you think a LeBron scandal would be?
I mean, it's all the same.
Never
Some
read
weird,
books.
creepy stuff. You know, who knows? Who knows?
You know.
They had Diddy on the Kids' Choice Awards many years and the Nickelodeon Awards, so they didn't know.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's
that's
true.
like
He was just like part of the whole.
But I mean, Nickelodeon was its own whole scandal.
Yeah.
You know what happened to Nickelodeon? Is it still on TV?
It's still on. It's like, I don't know if they show reruns. It's not like
I'll never show
MTV.
my-
That's just the Rob Dyrdek show.
I'll never
Ridiculousness.
show my kid Nickelodeon. Or the Rob. That show still happens?
That show is all MTV. All MTV is 12 hours a day of ridiculousness. That's it.
Is it new episodes or old?
I don't even know.
Timeless. Well, yeah, I mean, good for Rob then. That means he's making trillions in syndication.
Yeah, I mean, he's keeping that network alive, and they give him all of their money.
Right. Kind of like Daily Show with Comedy Central. Oh, yeah. This whole thing. Quiet on set.
Yeah. But there hasn't been any latest.
This guy looks like a PDF file,
Right.
But
certified PDF file.
Jesus.
You watched the Super Bowl?
I did, and
It's a good segue.
people are so sad, man.
Why?
I like the Kendrick halftime thing, and it was subtle, sneak dissing America, but people are like, "Man, it's revolutionary." Like, man, this is how sad things have become.
You liked it.
I did like the halftime show.
You saw it?
Yeah, I saw it. It was
liked
okay.
it?
I wasn't blown away by it, but I was
Yeah.
also like, no halftime performance really blows me away.
I think halftime performances are overall underwhelming most of the times. Especially like
Prince
rap.
one was great.
Especially rap. I'm saying particularly rap.
Rap is hard to show live
Yeah.
over TV. Mm-hmm. Like, I've seen Kendrick live
Yeah, same.
at Barclays, and it is nuts.
It's insane. I saw him at Tacoma Dome.
Yeah.
It's insane.
He's a crazy performer, and especially when the sound is right
yeah.
for you to hear. And you like a lot of rap is bad live. Mm-hmm. But some rap, Kendrick is phenomenal live. But like that was just not right for the moment, not right for that TV live kind of thing.
Do you think that he did not justice to his fan base by just doing so much about Drake?
He only did one song by him,
You know,
right?
he just did not like us.
He did not like us, but it was like that's what like the whole thing kind of was about. That is he? Gonna
Everybody
do, like,
loves that song, man.
But it's Chris Rock is doing a joke right now, so I don't want to spoil it. But he's talking about like that whole thing of like, all right, we get it.
Yeah.
You destroyed this guy's career or destroyed this guy's thing. Like, let it go, kind of thing. You know?
Yeah.
Because the victory is to get the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
That's the dub. Like at that point, you do like every song from Good Kid, Mad City. Like, who cares about Not Like Us? You do the shit that makes you like the greatest artist of all time. You know, the greatest commercial rapper in existence right now. You don't necessarily. I mean, but also there's the other side of it from a commercial artist perspective of you give the people what they want. Because people wanted that song. They're like, is he going to do it?
He was on the Super Bowl because of that song.
Right.
I don't know if he was on.
No, that song was just so big.
Yeah, that song but like it blew up because of who its target was.
Yeah.
And because of the
run up to it.
yeah, but also the beauty of the way he said everything. I think the A minor on his
But that's for his record label. That A. I think what's his record label?
is
I thought it was still TDE.
yeah, his record label is not A minor records.
Not
Is it?
A minor, but it is
PG Lang.
But the A minor was a reference to the joke in the song. That would have been enough.
The Chain.
Yeah. To me, like that's the subtle like wink at what got you there. But then you do the songs off of Damn and off of Good Kid, Mad City. Mm-hmm. And Pimp a Butterfly. You do the songs like Pimp a Butterfly is hard because I saw part of that live at Barclays, and I was like, as someone who doesn't know every song off that album,
The audience of the Super Bowl is not Kendrick fans, though, you know? It's like everybody in America.
right?
So, like, yeah, I feel like he had to do whatever was new and popular.
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm not.
it's the logo. So
And people still said a bunch of racist stuff about it.
Oh yeah, of course. They
So
were
right
done.
here it says the lowercase a hails from the logo of Kendrick
PG Lang.
Lamar's multimedia communication company PG Lang.
Oh, it just happens to be a double entendre
Yeah, exactly.
because it references the.
Everything's a double entendre.
Yeah. It's also
Get with Kendrick.
it's also funny that the bar in the song with J. Cole and Drake that started it all has a line about Drake being like saying something about the Super Bowl,
Oh,
and then full circle coming Kendrick performing at the Super
I'm sure they were both competing for it because, you know, they knew Lil Wayne was supposed to also.
yeah. I'm surprised. I'm surprised Drake hasn't performed at Super Bowl yet.
This was supposed to be his year.
Was it? I guess.
I mean,
so.
I guess he was in the up. I mean, it was him, Lil Wayne, and Kendrick won.
Yeah, first person shooter.
They're as big as the Super Bowl right there.
Yeah. Me and Drizzy just should like the Super Bowl.
Yeah, unless they get Drake back next year.
Drake's career's not going anywhere.
I mean, he released an album which is like mid. Really, it's like it's.
But his last few albums have been mid.
After not Mob Ties, whatever Mob Ties was on.
Well, now that his whole shtick has been revealed, of like of being just a culture hopper.
Mm-hmm.
Women love Drake, you know. It's like he's got a built-in audience.
Not all.
A lot of women love Drake. I don't know, man.
A
lot of women love Drake. He's got a built-in.
I mean, yeah, he's got millions and millions and trillions of dollars, and we'll be able to sell out arenas wherever he goes. But
maybe not like Gen Z women, but like older women for sure.
Sure.
You know, as someone who is a fan of some of his music, I can't say I'll be constantly supporting him again. Like when that 21 Savage Drake collab album came out, I was like, oh, this shit, it's fun. But
like Scorpion was the last good album that he came out with, and that was 2018. That's what God's Plan, Mob Ties, and all those songs were on.
But anyway, so the Super Bowl performance was fine. The Chiefs. Who saw it? I haven't kept up on the.
I mean, it was just a beating.
The game sucked.
The game sucked.
I was here.
The Eagles won.
That I know. I was here with. Bleep her name out.
Yeah.
Just like putting her to bed. And I was supposed to leave here during halftime to go meet up with these guys, but then I looked at the score and I was like,
no point.
It was like such
31-3 or something. I was like, oh, okay. This is sad. I'll just stay home.
It wasn't a fun game to watch either.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And you were watching it with Jay and Jason. I was with Lutz and them last night.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how you were reacting to Jay and Jason Goodwin like regurgitating Joe Rogan talking points about masculinity and shit.
Was I? I don't even remember that.
You were like, are these guys serious right now?
I don't even remember that. Maybe I was doing it with my face.
No. You said, I forget what Lutz said you said, but the whole emasculation of people like subconsciously happening by like if you listen to Rogan and all this hyper masculine podcasts, you are emasculating yourself because you're
but it's, you know what I realized it was? It's like straight white dudes feel like they're being encroached on every day.
It's so crazy.
But because they used to have like full control of everything. Like every corporate job was all straight white dudes for a while. Now that they've let in minorities and women, they feel like they're being encroached on. There's actually less jobs for them.
Right.
So it's like...
That's how I'm starting every show, by the way.
What?
I say anytime I go up and do like a showcase set, I'm just like, yeah, I'm surprised there's a minority on this show. Trump says we don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah. you don't have to be here anymore. Yeah. But they feel that way, and this is like part of like that's why this emasculation shtick stuff works. Because it's not a world that, is controlled by your type of person anymore.
It's like if I were like an angry ranter on stage, I would definitely. I'm not.
I know you're not. It's just hilarious because in my head, I'm thinking.
You just lose it if you just one day you just fucking lose it.
Like what the. You dumbass. Just work. Just study, bro. Just fucking read a book. Do a math equation. Like, it's not that you were busy, like, making fun of us, all the brown kids and Asian kids in high school for, like, nerding out and focusing on studies. And now here you are crying to Joe Rogan that life isn't the way you wanted it to be. Hey, read a book, bro.
It's
Do your
crazy,
research.
man. These people have these, like, their beliefs are crazy because it's all, like, impulse-based. It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like, who decides if you're emasculated or not? Like, what does that even mean? Like, it's all like this weird. It's just something to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, what a world.
I mean, it works. I mean, that kind of
It's
media
worked,
and content is making millions of dollars.
Right.
Put this guy in office.
Look at this clown.
This insane, crazy thing where I'm like, oh. I am not the president.
This is like the biggest Elon FU to Donnie is to bring your son into the Oval
This
Office.
is like Michael Scott and Dwight Schrute. Except Dwight's in control.
Right.
Dwight is now in control of America.
So
That's hilarious.
So wild.
I'm taking that. You'll hear that on the stage. A lot of people think, man, Nimesh, you think of the funniest stuff. No, it's Asif. But he has no delivery skills as evidenced by no fine.
You know what? Once you edit that perfectly, you're like, what? It was great.
No fine. That should be the name of this episode. No fine.
No fine.
You didn't even like take a breath, dude. Like you've seen me do comedy for 15 years. Like I've learned so much from you. You've absorbed nothing. You've taken nothing, bro. No fun.
I don't even think about delivery, actually, because I'm sitting here with you. If I was on stage, I wouldn't just quickly rant through stuff.
I don't know about that.
All right. Yeah. All right. What's Michael Scott saying here?
You want me to turn it up?
No.
No. This is not worth listening to.
No, I mean, look at this clown. It's crazy to think that even now, this little
X.
whatever his name is.
They're right there. He's like,
It's crazy that Trump, with his ego, is just sitting there taking this too, with a kid just telling him to.
He had to have gotten like $20 billion or something from Elon.
yeah.
That was what was it? 250 that they know about.
250 million?
250 million that they know about to his campaign directly. Is what Elon gave.
Plus,
As
also,
part of like the federal discovery of it.
but also he delivered the presidency,
Yeah, I mean, there's all this other money. Who knows?
right? Like he just bought this guy,
Yep.
and like I don't know how anyone who is pro Donald Trump is okay with this. Like, what mental gymnastics are they doing to be like, oh no?
I'm not close to it at all. I don't know any. Like most Trump supporters are now talking about masculinity and being an alpha male. They just switch gears.
No, it's like
Once he's in office, he's doing all this crazy stuff. They can't really like. You don't hear any of the Republican.
Let me go through my group chat real quick to see what the
You're closer to it than I am.
what the clowns are talking about.
They don't talk about this stuff. They just go and switch the topic back to like sports and dude stuff.
They talk about like at least at least Trump's getting stuff done. It's like, yeah, all the stuff he's getting done is awful. Who cuts park rangers?
Who thinks this is getting anything done?
Like,
What got done?
it's not. Nothing is better.
Yeah, inflation's up. Gaza's screwed, so that was all a lie, as the people knew.
Of course.
Park rangers, the VA got gutted, so a lot of vets got screwed. USAID, which does a lot more than just give aid to countries that deserve it.
People died.
Yeah, a lot of people died, but also they protect America.
There's gonna be a lot of famine. But America first. Yeah, I mean,
The federal employees, like their payroll is such a small amount.
FAA,
Yeah, the FAA, planes are blowing up.
TSA, they're getting a cut.
TSA's getting cut.
Yeah.
Shit.
Because that's also, I think, federal. That's under federal.
I mean, what's crazy is like I had to reapply for global entry.
Yeah.
And normally it takes like a few weeks for the vetting.
Yeah.
Like even if you reapply, I got reapproved the next day. Email came, you're good. I'm like, this is really good in efficiency, but
Doge, baby.
it's probably
They just Googled you and you're like, oh, this guy?
Yeah, but they probably also like. There's probably other. I'm not someone that's slipping through the cracks. You know, I'm just a normal. I'm just a comic. But if there is someone who's like applying and they have like an easily shady background, trying to get like a hyper or like a less than or a better security clearance, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's obvious that this is gonna be another hole in the system.
I mean, dude, a felon is president.
Yeah, so, right.
You know,
a felon is president.
A felon is president. So, like,
with a mugshot, right?
Who are we to say,
office.
hey,
Crazy.
Arms dealer?
I want to be I wish I were more unscrupulous because I would. It seems like a high time to commit white collar crime. Like, if you're going to commit white collar crime, now's the time to do it because it seems like this is like it's a free for all.
No, they'll come after you. It's like white collar crime's only legal if you're like Elon, that level.
No. I bet all.
And then there's like some hedge fund guys doing white collar crime. They've always been doing it.
Yeah, but now it's open season. SEC's going to get gutted.
Yeah.
Oh, is the SEC getting gutted too?
It's going to happen. Like
well, if you kiss the ring, you can do whatever.
So like I just saw it. SEC chair like posted a letter to the SEC site that what's happening is about to get bad. No. Oh, like the Trump officials firing nuclear staff.
Yeah, they fired a lot of nuclear
And they had
subject
to
matter experts.
They had to bring them right back because like, oh, these guys overlook the nuclear arsenal. Like, oh, our bad. This is ridiculous. This whole thing is a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode. We fired them, but we don't know how to reach them now. Jesus Christ, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, what do Trump supporters think of all this? Like, this is their...
Well, it's eventually going to trickle down, all this money that we're saving.
What do you mean? Like, this doesn't make any sense.
None of it makes sense.
I mean, it makes sense to them. This is because they just want to send a message and gut the government and then do their grift on the side.
Right.
They're definitely hiding their grift. All this weird stuff about the government buying armored cyber trucks for $400 million and like all this like crazy stuff they're trying to get under the radar. But you know, I don't know what the point. Like, this isn't furthering anybody's agenda. It's just making the average American's life worse.
Yeah. But what I was saying earlier is it's going to take a while for all this very slow death by 1,000 cuts to happen. You know, one cut like this, one cut here, one cut there is not going to, like, the average American's not going to notice it. The average MAGA person's not going to notice it until it's too late, until their eggs are $20 million and they can't get health care because Elon wanted a few more bucks in his pocket. That's all that's happening.
I mean, they're doing mental gymnastics now, but I don't think they'll ever stop doing mental gymnastics. When does it get bad enough for these kinds of people? Like, have like zero empathy, zero sympathy. Also, like, they're not even critically thinking about any of this. You know, like, because if they really want to believe in like they're saving money for the government, or they're worried about the trade deficit, right?
Yeah.
Like, then there are actual things you could do that's not firing park rangers and the VA.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then like,
or cutting USAID, which is like 1.1% of like the actual budget.
Yeah, and then they're like, frankly, they're deregulating healthcare, right? With like RFK, so like that's going to make the population sicker,
right? Yeah,
that's just how it works. So like, I don't like. I mean, listen, it's a third of the country is crazy like this, and then the Democrats can't do anything because they only represent a third of the country, and then there's the other third that just didn't give a shit about any of this. But I'm sure if you like gun to their head, they would have voted for Trump because they didn't vote for Kamala. They didn't vote at all. So they're not really liberals, or they're just apathetic. So, you know, we don't really have anybody fighting the fight because there's only.
You want to fight the fight?
Fight the fight against the.
What do you think?
I'm not a lawyer, bro.
Yeah, I guess you need lawyers.
You need lawyers. You need money. You need money.
Yeah,
You can't fight Elon.
that's the problem.
I mean, if these other billionaires G'd up, yeah, they could.
But
Where's Bill Gates at?
But look at this list of people who
These are on the left. Everyone kissed the ring.
exactly.
Bezos, richest guy in the world. Zuckerberg, richest
How
guy.
did Goldman Sachs stay with? I thought J.P. Morgan got rid of it too. That guy, that CEO is a dickhead.
Diamond?
Yeah, he routinely tells his employees to fuck off all the time.
They only didn't get. They definitely didn't. Yeah,
He really does. He's like, "Fuck you."
come back to the office.
Yeah.
Well, they probably there's no like they didn't stand with DEI because they needed to like ethically. It's probably just helps their bottom line to have different color people on the payroll.
But
Well, that McKinsey study that people like that DEI basically enables growth because you're adding people who have ideas from different backgrounds. They all went to Harvard and shit. If they're Goldman Sachs,
Right.
Whether it's an Indian guy or a black guy or an Indian woman or an Asian woman, they're all still elite. You know, they're not like they're still hiring from the same talent pool.
Yeah, I want to go work at Goldman. If you're a Goldman Sachs employee and or fan, and you have an internship available for someone who will show up twice a week, curse you out.
No. You got to do the Goldman Sachs talks like Hillary Clinton. That's the real money. You got to go and talk to all their analysts.
I had nothing to say to them. I just want to be like I just want to be like in the.
Yeah.
I just want to be in the ether.
Just try to radicalize them.
It's fine. It's just bullshit, right?
Yeah. Just radicalize them as like vegans and then
oh my god,
start like just turn them all into hippies and we'll
Yeah, no, that's never gonna happen.
never gonna happen.
They're drinking the Goldman Sachs Kool-Aid. But that being said, GS, I'm willing and able to talk at your events. Holler at me. I'll do it for stock. Really, stock's up.
Cash is king, man.
What was it? What were we talking about? Trump?
yeah.
How much more time we have left to talk about this clown? Like 3 minutes? I hope. Feels like we've been talking about him for a minute now.
Yeah.
It's been crazy to see the silence from the people that helped get this guy in power. You know, like all the new right wing podcasters. They ain't saying shit about all the stuff that's being gutted right now, and all like, oh, this is what you wanted. This is what you wanted, guys.
With all the comics that went
pro
publicly endorsing him and stuff. Yeah, I mean, there was all.
Hold on.
But yeah, I think the familial thing definitely makes us a difference too.
We're talking about if American billionaires are worse than Indian billionaires. And is it because they're white? Because the white people just want to dominate and win all the time?
Worse?
Yeah.
Are Indian billionaires worse
than American billionaires?
Well,
Who's worse?
Define worse. What is like who oppresses more people than this Indian? Who?
But who wants to have more control and power over people? And
Well, I think Indian. But I mean, billionaires are all the same ilk. If we're going to talk about, do you think there are any good billionaires?
no.
Does a good billionaire exist?
Probably not.
Okay, so now if every billionaire is bad, what makes them the least bad?
Like, okay, so it's basically like Elon, Zuck, Bill Gates.
But are they the worst billionaires? Or there's billionaires that like are
It's like sources and uses of money, right? Like, what are their sources and how evil is that? And what are their uses and how good or evil is that?
okay,
So, like, these tech billionaires, their source of money, like Zuckerberg, you could argue his source of money is evil, right? Because Facebook just
Yeah.
manipulates
people and it has added so much stress to the world. And he's profited off of it. And then he uses his money to get, like, Trump elected. So that's, like, straight evil. But what's the good version of that? Is there someone who's...
So the least evil would be like, I guess, like Bill, right? Like he's tried to do a lot of philanthropy with like malaria, all that shit.
But the bigger the foundation,
that's what he uses his money for.
But that's what you think. Like the bigger it's a bit I used to do. But like the bigger the foundation, the bigger the sin they're trying to cover up for. Like what did Billy do that he's trying to solve malaria? You know what I mean? Like what was he doing?
What about
on
Warren
Epstein
Buffett?
Island?
You think Warren Buffett made his money in a halal way?
I mean, he invested in non-halal companies. So that gives a layer of goodness to it. But if we're talking about like the Ambanis, they're worse billionaires than Buffett, I imagine. But they also run conglomerates. Buffett runs a conglomerate of conglomerates, right?
Yeah.
So who's the worst person? Who's the worst billionaire? Like if you invest in a bunch of companies that enslave children, or you have a company that enslaves children, just because you diversified your enslavement doesn't mean you're a better guy.
I mean, the direct slaver is the worst one, and then the indirect slaver is the second worst.
But he enables the direct slaver.
No, I think when you're slaving people directly, I think you, because someone has to do the job. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if nobody did the job, you couldn't make a market out of it.
But the thing is, no one has to do the job.
But they do.
Right.
Slaving is a lot of ways to do it: directly, indirectly,
right,
indenturedly,
H-1B.
I also think that the one measure of worseness of a billionaire is the opportunity to do good versus the good done. Like Trump right now has the opportunity to be the greatest guy on the planet. Easily. Easily be the greatest guy on the planet. But he's taking the opposite route and doing just like fuck shit for everybody. He's fucking everybody except himself.
I mean, when the Democrats try to give money to these agencies, like, you're wasting money. You're wasting my tax dollars. You know, people don't respect it when you expand U.S. aid. Like if Biden said, I'm going to give U.S. aid more money.
I'm not saying look.
I know what you're saying, but I'm just like, the people fucking suck.
There's
man.
parts of nationalism that I agree with. If Elon was going in and like actually identifying fraud and waste and making very good cuts to those things, I would be for it, even though I think it's a drop in the bucket relative to the actual problematic expenditures of the American tax dollar, aka military spending. But he's not doing that. It's just like a blanket, like fuck everybody, fuck the parks, fuck the VA. Like if instead Donald Trump was like, we're going to identify where in the military there's a lot of waste and reallocate that money to make the VA the best veterans program there is, it would like, I bet you there's no small reason. It's not a small reason that military recruitment
is down. I mean,
although last year they recruited like the most army people ever, which doesn't bode well for whatever war we got coming. But it would speak volumes to what the country is about. If instead we cut like 1/10 of the war in Afghanistan and turned it into hospitals, like we'd have hospitals for everybody.
Oh no, it's up. My bad.
But he's not doing that. That's what I mean. Like he has the opportunity to be the great. Like every president has the opportunity to be the greatest person ever. But none of them do it.
And I'm saying none of them do it because they're thankless to do it.
It's also not just thankless, but it's being like Bernie's right. It's an oligarchy. Like when you're being bought, why would you can't do it even if you wanted to because you don't have your hands are tied.
If Bernie came in, he would try to expand all these agencies that help people. He said he would do that. And let's say, but they would call him a socialist, a commie. The Congress would jam him up, and then the news networks would spin it in such a way to call it all waste. And like they've done that, welfare queens and all this stuff. So it's like it's impossible to actually be a good person as the president.
Beautiful piece of propaganda, welfare queen.
Yeah.
And Obamacare.
Yeah.
That's all like right wing.
We want to give people health insurance, and it turned into this whole
a black man's going to give you health insurance.
So
It's fucking
it's a
ridiculous.
thankless job.
Yeah. But when I'm saying, I mean, Donnie recognizes that's thankless. That's why he's just grifting as much as he can. But I'm saying, like, when it goes back to measuring a billionaire's worstness, Donald Trump is the worst billionaire of all time. He's the president of the United States and could change the world for the better in, like, with the snap, as we can see, with the snap of a pen, could issue like $1 billion. It feels like executive order. Healthcare is now free. Figure that shit out. Who is not voting for him every time?
I mean, the thing is, like, they would use laws to jam him up.
I'm saying what I'm
But
saying.
now the laws are like suggestions.
Hey,
Because they've
if you're
done
helping
it
your
so
country,
much.
there is no law. That's what he
they've
said.
they've messed with the courts and put their Supreme Court justices in where they've like weakened the court system. So if it went the other way, like, I mean,
All that to say,
those judges would jam him up because those judges want this kind of chaos.
this brings
They
me,
let this happen.
This brings me back to our the last thing we said on the pod before we went on hiatus. My GoFundMe Kickstarter for me getting $1 billion is still at a whopping $0.
No, we got Turb Coin too. That'll make you money.
Please.
Turb Coin
Please.
is coming.
We're trying to prove this hypothesis. If Nimesh Patel became a billionaire, will he help people? The answer, we believe, is yes. Please help us. GoFundMe.com/TurbCoin Nimesh for President 2028 if we still have a country. .html. So please give us money. I need to be a billionaire so I can figure this out. I think that's enough talking about this clown.
Yeah, that's an hour. So
We already talked for an hour?
yeah,
Damn, man, that was fast.
well, 50 minutes.
Oh, okay. Why didn't we talk about anything? We didn't even talk about anything.
Not really. We didn't even get
It's a
to
podcast.
Kanye.
We talked about
We
a lot of
didn't
stuff.
talk about Kanye.
Oh, do we have to talk about Kanye?
We don't have to, but that was
Well, I mean, Kanye's going to go even more Kanye now that RFK is the healthcare czar and he's getting rid of mental health meds.
Oh yeah, antidepressants.
So shout out RFK for also everyone get a knife because they're about to be a bunch of schizos running the streets.
Jesus.
Because RFK is like mental health medication is
It's
bad for
crazy
your
that
brain.
a heroin addict
Yeah.
is telling people
heroin addict
that they can't
brainworm.
take antidepressants.
Right.
Oh my god, man! People really need antidepressants.
It's
man.
so
Shit's,
crazy. It's so crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to. I just gotta listen to like classical music now. There's no at least there's no stories coming out about Beethoven and Bach, and Mozart being a philanderer or something.
No,
just-
those guys all had syphilis. For
yeah,
sure.
for sure. But they got it like the old-fashioned way, like fuck that cat or something.
That was back when the women would only show their ankle, and that would be like salacious. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those were the days, man.
Those were-
He grabbed me by my knickers. Like that's like, man.
I just
Kanye,
listened to Yo Yo Ma.
Kanye went crazy.
he was getting
Again.
divorced.
I thought it was off. Divorce is back on.
Yeah.
I think the divorce is part of their like weird media thing.
Just
It's like
to stay
performance art.
relevant?
Yeah, it's all dumb.
Because it works. It works. Like people are like, oh yeah, look, he's finally gonna get what he deserves. This lady's gonna leave him. This lady who's clearly also not all there
Right.
because she just shows up naked to events
To the Grammys.
and just everywhere. Like they're
Right.
just weird people.
No prenup.
No, he's giving her like $5 million to
Who cares about like?
end it. Yeah.
I can't understand why people still care about this dude.
Yeah,
honestly.
man.
Because
I mean,
like even
he
if you're a
was-
huge
It's
fan
just-
of his,
it's just spectacle.
he's like done. You know what I
It's
mean?
just spectacle.
Even if you're a fan of his, like mentally he's done.
Right.
And you have the music that you like, and then that's it. Like it's
It's sad to see. It's sad to see.
It really is.
Somebody who was a great artist to see them go down.
Yeah, it's real tragic.
in
My
real
Beautiful
time.
Dark Twisted Fantasy is one of my favorite hip hop albums. It's an incredible album.
Mm-hmm.
And to know that every time I listen to it now, part of me is going to have to be thinking like, man, this
This guy's nuts.
Yeah, in between the lines, he was probably like his ad libs probably all got muted, but he's probably just saying like Hitler was a good dude. Kanye, we can't say Hitler was a great guy. Come on, man.
Producers kept like, there's no ID. That was his real job, is getting rid of the anti-Semitism.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Those shirts were wild.
Yeah, I mean, how did he?
Finally, Shopify took it down. That's how he got down. Shopify just took his website down.
And they said it wasn't because it was of the iconography. They said it was because there was a potential fraud, attracted fraud of having that, the swastika on it.
Other people start popping up with Kanye West swastika shirts,
and Shopify was like, no. Now we gotta draw the line here, guys.
Well, yeah, I mean they are in the business of making T-shirts,
Wow. Of e-commerce. Anyway.
Oh, well. Free Puff. Jesus Christ, dude.
Okay. You want to just switch to Patreon?
It's pretty funny, though. This one's pretty funny because it's so ridiculous. Free Puff.
I started...
Bill Cosby innocent. Remember that?
I started... I was supposed to do a show, Alex Inglis's show, then was at the Bell House. Not Bell House, at Second City in Williamsburg. Like he's like, you want to come? It was on my birthday, and he's like, you want to come do some time? And I said no, I couldn't make it, but I really wanted to go and just be like Elon innocent. It was right after Elon threw the right hand up.
Oh,
I'm just here to say Elon Musk innocent. My heart goes out to everybody in this room, and then walk off. But I had to stay home because of the baby. But
that was crazy. This guy did a salute.
Anyway,
oh my God. Anyway,
are we switching to Patreon?
Yeah.
Well, oh no, wait. I didn't tell you about the before we switch to the Patreon. Speaking of doing spots, I was at the Cellar on Thursday. So SNL 50 is this weekend, and word to anyone listening, if you're not already hip to this, anytime any stand-up comedian is in town doing an arena or in town doing a SNL, there's a high likelihood that they pop up at the Cellar to run their sets. Like, I think everyone in comedy fans know this, but if you're not a comedy fan, like, that's what happens. And this past Thursday was no different, except everyone's in town for SNL. So on Thursday, the 8:30 show, I was doing around the corner. I was like 2 spots at Fat Black, and then I get off stage and I look at the TVs that they have. They have TVs showing all the rooms at the Cellar, in every room, so you could see like, oh shit, I got to run here. There's my spot next, like whatever. I look up at the screen. I'm like, who the fuck? Who's this old? Is that Steve Martin? Steve Martin and Martin Short are on stage at the OG Cellar location. I fucking sprint over there. I go downstairs. I catch the last 10 seconds. They're like, oh, thank you.
How long did they do?
I guess they did like 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So what happened was...
That's crazy.
From what I understand, I don't know who went first. Leclerc went first, and then he got off, and then Mulaney was with them, Steve Martin and Martin Short.
So the 3 of them went up?
So Mulaney went up, and Mulaney brought up Steve Martin, and then Steve Martin brought up Martin Short, and then Steve Martin and Martin Short did like 8 minutes together because they always do this shit together. They got off. Lenny Marcus goes up. Lenny... the best.
I love Lenny. He must have been like, God damn it.
He's like,
I can imagine his face.
He's just like,
why?
For what?
Shout to Lenny Marcus.
They're going to be so disappointed. Like, everyone's like, oh man, the post Martin Short spot. Yeah, who wants to do that? After Steve Martin and Martin Short do stand up for the first time at the Cellar ever. He goes up, gets off. John Lasseter brings up Leslie Jones. Leslie Jones destroys, and Lenny's like watching her because like they work together.
Yeah.
Or did he go up? He might have went up after Leslie, which is also an equally insane follow. Leslie gets off. Nate Bargatze, David Spade.
Jesus.
Spade brings up Chris Rock.
Oh my.
That was an $18 ticket, and they saw
How long did this show go
The show
on?
was a 2-hour show.
Wow.
2-hour show because Greer went up because everyone that got bumped, quote unquote, ended up just doing like 5 minutes. Everyone who's like slated to go up still got to go up, but they just did like 5. So they kept it tight because if everyone was doing 15, it would have been crazy. But yeah, Chris Turner was supposed to be on that show too, but you don't follow Rock.
Unless you're old bump.
Yeah, unless you're
Chris Rock bump.
unless you're Chappelle or CK or Hart or somebody like
Bill
that.
Burr or something like that.
And that was it. And then we're all sitting at the table like, oh, this is just like one of these crazy weekends. And that was probably one of the top 5 lineups I've seen at the Cellar. I've been there for like a lot of crazy ones. I saw Aziz, Rock, Chappelle, and John Mayer do karaoke.
Ooh.
That was crazy. I saw CK, Chappelle, Rock in one night on the same lineup. I was on a lineup with. I think I was on that lineup. I might have been on the lineup. I was on the lineup with Wanda, and then it was me, Wanda Sykes, and then it was me, and then Kevin Hart, and then Chappelle, I think. It was one of these insane nights. But to see Mulaney, Martin Short, Steve Martin, Bargatze, Leslie Jones, David Spade, Rock, and then Greer, and of course, Lenny Marcus, the greatest.
I would have loved to see Lenny set that
Lenny
night.
Lenny was so funny. He was perfectly himself. What a wild time. And I'm sure that's going to continue for the next few nights because I think a lot of those people are lingering and hanging out after tonight's show. Also, I think it's time to start promoting the Netflix special.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Netflix special, April 1st. It's real. It's called Instant Karma. It's coming out April 1st. You were there for the taping. Sarthik was there for the taping. We had to edit Sarthik out of the shots because it was his first time being at a taping, and he's standing side stage right in camera view of the 5 camera setup that we had. He's taking the still photography in his white ass shirt and white ass sneakers.
I blame Mookie.
Nope.
Mookie did not say anything during the first show.
It's just like when we're watching it. No, I think he couldn't get to you for whatever reason, and then like in between shows, he's just like,
not true because I asked him.
What?
I asked him, where can I be?
I bet like his head was so
No, definitely.
his brain was so fried after the audio fuck up on the first show that
Yeah, he was really frazzled by that.
he was so mad. He kept it together like with me, but like backstage he was probably losing his shit.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? How the fuck did someone fuck that up? I'm like, yeah, you get what you pay for. NYU, shout out, thank you for having me, but your audio people messed up that night. But I only bring it up. I bring it up because I'm Netflix Instant Karma, April 1st. Please watch it. Tell your Indian friends in India to not be mad about all the Hanuman jokes. I don't need any more right-wing Hindus threatening my life. But I'm sure that'll happen.
Indian ultranationalists.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Terminally online.
I'm sure it's gonna happen. Well, I start the stat like 10 minutes in. I'm making fun of the Ambanis, which got me a lot of vitriol. And then at the end of the set, if you're still watching, hate watching, thank you very much. You're going to be very mad because there's a joke about a bunch of Hindu gods, which I can't wait to see how they come back and bite me in the ass.
Why is it called Instant Karma? Because you're Indian?
It's called Instant Karma because it's like thematically the through line through the set. Mm-hmm.
Without giving away too much.
I experienced a lot of karma in each kind of vignette of the jokes. But Netflix karma, this. I don't know if you ever told you this, but my first job at a hedge fund was as an internship, and the first company he gave me to cover was Netflix.
Oh wow!
What year was this?
2011. I had to cover 2010 or 2011. I was an intern at a hedge fund.
Still using mailers,
right? And I was, and his thesis was short. He wanted to put a short on Netflix because he thought that they would not be able to compete with the deep moneyed studios like HBO and Disney in buying up and creating content.
But this was still in the mail era, right?
Well, I think so.
It was
Because
just around turning
the
to digital.
The Netflix business model was genius because there was a loophole that they could send a CD for the same price as a stamp, like a regular letter. So they were able to, like, their distribution was the USPS, and they did it for like nothing.
Right.
That was their whole. Then they switched to streaming,
the video on demand.
I don't know what year that was.
That was around like 2010.
Yeah,
2010.
Video on demand. What my PM overestimated was the intelligence of Disney and HBO and all the big new old media companies, because he thought they'd be able to move very quickly into that streaming space. Netflix, who is this upstart DVD company that's going to move into video on demand? No way that's going to get their lunch eaten by these other companies. So he didn't put the short on, luckily, because that would have been the worst short of all time.
Yeah, he underestimates like how much engineering. Like Netflix hires like the best engineers. They pay them a ton of money too. It's like hard to do. It seems easy.
Right. It's
just streaming stuff, but it's actually like super hard to do.
Right. All that to say, we were short the company in theory, and here I am 15 years
this
later.
Hedge fund does not exist anymore.
The hedge fund blew up.
They were long on Blockbuster, short on Netflix.
The hedge fund blew up because we were wrong, and here I am on Netflix 15 years later. I should tell that story on the next special.
Yeah.
If Netflix still exists, because we're going to go short again just to be wrong, continue to be wrong.
See, I'm sure that hedge fund PM is a smart dude. Like, smart people also make bad decisions.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's a super smart guy. He was here yesterday. Bleep his name out, by the way, when I say
you got to bleep out a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You said his name?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll bleep it.
But yeah. No, he's a super smart guy. He's probably going to retire. So he manages.
Smart people.
He runs $1 billion by himself right now.
And decision making do not go together all the time.
Yeah, no. Sometimes you take it out.
Sometimes you lose.
Yeah. Luckily, I'm not. If he's long Netflix now, that much I know.
Yeah.
A few months ago, when I was I make a joke in the special about interning at a hedge fund after the special comes out, which is also true. When I went back to intern right before my baby was born, I had to cover Netflix again. This time from a long perspective, and the long was right. Once those earnings came out, everything went up. Netflix, April 1st, instant karma. Let's continue this rise in the stock market until Trump inevitably nationalizes Netflix and makes everyone watch 24/7 Fox News vis-a-vis streaming. Moving to that's our non-Patreon episode of A Gucci A Turban. Oh, I'll be in Houston this weekend. Get tickets. One of my last few shows where I'm just warming up before I hit the road for real, starting in mid-May or June on the new tour, but that hasn't been announced yet. But you'll hear it first here. But Houston this weekend, Huntington, Long Island, weekend after that. A few other places, LA, Irvine, Ontario. Come see me. Asif, where can we watch you?
Central Park. Duck Pond. Okay?
Central Park, Duck
Pond, right at the bridge that was in Spider-Man, where James Franco broke up with Kirsten Dunst. You'll find me there recreating that scene.
Who are you going to break up with?
I'll hire an actor.
All right, that's enough. Let's switch to the Patreon for a little bit. We'll also be off next week because I'm traveling. He's traveling.
Yep.
Asif will still be
in Central Park. Find him there.
Duck Pound.
There's not much. I thought I had more saved, but did you see this Harlem lady in Pakistan?
This Harlem lady in Pakistan is blowing people